All right, so this is a suggestion via Discord. The name of the video is, if they hadn't shot this video with a drone, no one would have ever believed it. Let's check it out. Let's see where this takes us, guys.
Hello, friends. Modern drone production technologies are becoming more advanced and affordable every year.
Right.
Today, drones are actively used for photo and video shooting from a bird's eye view, allowing us to capture amazing footage. Thanks to drones, we can see the world from a completely new perspective and discover incredible views that were previously unavailable to us. In today's video, you'll get to see some incredible landscapes, breathtaking city panoramas, as well as unique wildlife footage that could have never been captured by a conventional camera.
Okay.
I'm sure that these shots will amaze you and make you wonder about many things.
Let's go.
An inactive coal-fired power plant was blown up in the city of Dakota, UK. It looks very impressive. It was a planned and controlled detonation, so the towers of the power plant went down almost simultaneously. Unfortunately, the demolition did not go exactly according to plan. A nearby electric pole caught fire and caused over 40,000 people to be left without electricity.
Oh, that's terrible.
The exotic island of Mauritius is known for its beautiful beaches and clear water. That's not all. There is an unusual natural phenomenon located 160 kilometers away from it. This unique underwater waterfall is mesmerizingly beautiful, but
underwater waterfall?
It is actually an optical illusion.
Okay.
This effect is created by strong underwater currents. Against the background of the seabed formed by coral reefs, alluvial sand, and silt deposits, the currents look like seething streams falling into the ocean.
Oh, God.
Severe droughts can last for several...
Guys, that's absolutely beautiful.
...into the ocean.
For real, Liz.
Severe droughts can last for several years in the deserts and valleys of Nazca, but the Nazca civilization was still able to survive and thrive in this region.
Is this South America?
A system of underground aqueducts helped the people to do it. The Nazca's hydraulic system was known as puquillos.
Okay.
It was a combination of underground tunnels, small reservoirs, and unusual spiral holes that led down from the surface to the water. Puquillos are currently poorly mapped, since they haven't been systematically excavated, but drones are being used to study them now. The most beautiful natural park in Brazil, Lenos Monensis, is located right on the shores of the Atlantic Ocean. This is an amazing area that combines dunes of the whitest sands that are up to 40 meters high and a reservoir of stunning beauty. Sand dunes and lagoons are constantly moving under the influence of air masses, so every landscape seen here is short-lived and unique. There are also green mangrove islands here, with various animals living in their thickets.
Yeah, guys, I will say, like, you know, I've been a photographer for 2 decades, commercially. And when the drone technology started coming out, I was just like, bro, I'm going to now have to go to everywhere I went before to now kind of relook at some of these things, right? Because we can now get the impossible shots. And I will say, though, seeing a location that looks as beautiful as this one and the one before from the sky would be absolutely phenomenal.
The sculpture of a huge sleeping baby, called the Child of the Earth, is located in the middle of the Gobi Desert in northwest China. Its author, Dong Shubing, scanned a real baby, then printed the red sandstone sculpture on a 3D printer, brick by brick. According to the man, it is supposed to remind us that respecting nature is essential for the preservation of life on our planet.
Yeah, but why is it missing its diaper?
And it should make us think about the close connection between man and nature.
Okay. I mean, it's beautiful.
Zhangji Dangsha National Geop Park is one of the most beautiful landforms in China. The park is known for its unusually colored rocks. All colors were formed by wind and erosion, and the process of their formation took millions of years. Their main color is dark red. It formed due to the fact that there were once many rivers in these mountains, and sandstone settled at their bottoms. The landscape continues to form even during our time. Every 10,000 years, the rocks grow by about 90 centimeters.
Is that a lot? Bro, listen, okay. How many inches?
the seemingly unreal wonders of nature is the Wave in Arizona. It is a sandstone formation
This go here.
that took a long time to form.
Just go.
According to scientists, the unique wave-like rock formations emerged on the surface of the Earth when sand dunes turned into harder rocks over the course of many millions of years, and they acquired such unusual shape as a result of prolonged exposure to wind and rain. There are 7 ancient megalithic.
Okay, guys, back to this one here. But I will say, if you go to this location specifically to fly your drone, be fully aware you may not be able to actually use it without a license, all right, or some type of permit. Just a heads up, because these national parks do not allow, like they literally geo-lock you out of even taking off in your drone without you inputting your permit numbers. Just a heads up. But all right, let's get it.
Prolonged exposure to wind and rain. There are 7 ancient megalithic temples on the island of Malta and Goza. It is believed that they were built in the 4th and 3rd millennia BC. They are one of the first stone buildings in the world. Their shape is truly amazing. Each structure is unique, and it's a masterpiece of technological advancements of that time. During the study of the temples, priceless historical artifacts were discovered, such as fragments of ceramic products, which confirm the theory of existence of a highly developed civilization on the island. At the end of November 1961, pilot Harry Gibson made a sensational discovery. Flying over Sari-Sari Nama Tepui, he didn't just see a forest, but also giant sinkholes, depressions deep into the mountain. There are 4 sinkholes here. The largest one is 352 meters wide and 314 meters deep. Only researchers can get permission to visit this extraordinary site for exploration. They claim that a unique ecosystem has formed there, with such species of plants and animals that can't be found anywhere else on Earth.
Of course, guys, of course.
There are extremely well-preserved Neolithic structures on the island of Papa Westray in the northern part of Scotland. Radiocarbon analysis showed that the houses were built between 3700 to 2800 BC. They were most likely a farmstead and a residential home. It may be hard to believe, but fireplaces, partition screens, beds, and storage shelves remained almost intact. One of the most impressive sea creatures living today is the narwhal, or the unicorn of the sea.
Unicorn?
Its most prominent feature is its tusk.
What is that?
It lives in the Arctic, in the cold waters of the Atlantic Ocean and the Arctic Ocean. Marine biologists don't know much about the life of narwhals in their natural environment.
Guys, do they sword fight?
The purpose of their tusks has made scientists wonder for a long time. However, the video shot with a drone shows that the narwhal uses its huge, sharp tooth for hunting, to attack fish and other prey at high speeds.
Oh.
Amazing shots were taken with a drone from a height of several tens of meters. Dozens of dump trucks are at work, turning the project into reality. Perhaps an amazing green landscape with skyscrapers will appear on this arid land soon.
Where are we?
An eerie sight of a forest without trees, or rather with just tree stumps, was filmed from a drone near a lake in Washington state. The region was hit by a severe drought in 2014. One might think that the trees were damaged then, but the fact is that they were flooded for decades, and only when the water level in the lake dropped did the world get to see this unusual forest.
They were flooded for decades. That means that obviously the area was logged.
It's very difficult to drive cars.
Like you can look at the cuts; they're so clean. You can even see like saw marks on them, guys.
Unusual forest. It's very difficult to drive cars in mountainous areas. It is even more difficult for heavy machinery. It's important to take into account a lot of specific features of the road in order to prevent any accidents. So, how this tractor managed to get to the mountaintop is a mystery. But an even more interesting question is, why would someone take it there?
Right.
There are 43 giant presidential
I'm not sure you're paying that person enough money. Just a heads up.
Heads that sit decaying on a regular farm in Virginia. Their owner plans on turning them into a museum exhibition, but for now, the field with the presidential heads makes for a rather eerie sight. A huge cargo ship was stuck in the ice of the St. Clair River due to cold weather and strong winds. Fortunately, the icebreakers were able to successfully free the ship and its crew from the ice captivity. One of the new wonders of the world is a popular attraction and a symbol of Jordan,
The Petra?
the ancient city of Petra. Getting there requires walking for several kilometers through the Sick Gorge.
Yeah, guys, so I've been in Petra about a decade ago, and I definitely did not see it from this angle. That's why I was kind of wondering, like, is this Petra? Because I remember literally walking past these things. Yeah, the journey is crazy. Bring water.
Is a popular
And I'm not sure you're going to be able to fly your drone. I'm just going to be honest here. I don't know how this drone footage, I don't know how they got that, but they're going to take that from you as soon as you land. All right, just a heads up. They're going to take that from you instantly, unless you get some type of permit. I'm guessing that could probably be it.
attraction
Or pay the right person.
and a symbol of Jordan, the ancient city of Petra. Getting there requires walking for several kilometers through the Sick Gorge. Even the cliffs that make up the walls of the dark hallway look impressive. This passage used to be a market, but now the very fact that these temples and palaces were made 2,000 years before the birth of Christ seems truly incredible. South China is home to one of China's oldest historical mysteries, the hanging coffins that dot the banks of the Yangtze River.
The hanging
Later,
coffins.
this custom spread to other southern regions of China. Incredibly, these coffins are suspended on cliffs and can be as high as 130 meters above the ground. This funeral custom was most likely practiced by national minorities in China, the Bo people. This custom was believed to guarantee the immortality of the soul in the next life. In September 2021, yet another whale got beached. Reports of groups of beached whales and dolphins came in from all over the world every year. Since these animals cannot survive on land, they quickly die when stranded on the beach. There are numerous reasons that can cause this phenomenon. However, the most common are hearing problems in the animal and changes in their habitat. When the cold hits Lake Michigan, St. Joseph Lighthouse looks magical. Its entire surface gets covered with ice. This historic piece of architecture often turns into something incredible during the winter months as the icy waters of the lake crash against it. The curves of the icicles depend on the direction of the wind at any given time, which is why some of them are bent in different directions. In such weather, the lighthouse looks like a castle made of ice, which seems to glow from the inside in the dark.
This happens a lot on the coast of Lake Erie, like specifically Erie County, PA, along with Erie County, New York, roughly south of Buffalo. Like that entire strip from the south of Buffalo to Erie, PA, even to like Bradford. It's like a triangle basically. So if you pinpoint Erie specifically on the map in Lake, in the Great Lakes, right? Look for Erie, Buffalo, and then Bradford. It's a triangle. It's crazy over there. This happens every single year. So it doesn't surprise me that it's actually happening on Lake Michigan. What I would say, though, if I was anyone there, I'd probably work on some type of heating, massive amounts of heating, because it looks like this is a light right here. And if this is, in fact, a lighthouse, then it needs to be seen from a distance, guys. Okay, they can't see it.
The house looks like a castle made of ice, which seems to glow from the inside in the dark. Does the sight of a flame burning among the yellow sands of the desert give you goosebumps? It's called Darvaza, or the Gate of Hell. An exploration well was being drilled about 50 years ago, but the earth suddenly fell through and a large crater formed, from which gas started leaking out.
Ooh.
After the crater was set on fire, the escaping gas was expected to burn out in a few days. However, decades have passed, but the fire still hasn't gone out, continuing to attract researchers and tourists alike.
All right, so really quickly, regarding that last thing we just saw here, there are multiple eternal flames. They're literally called eternal flames. They were accidentally lit at some time in our history. I think there are like 7 to 9 known eternal flames. I think there's one in like a place that snows a whole lot. It was like lit by like Native Americans, guys, right? So just keep this in mind. That's not extremely rare, but one that large is incredibly rare. If you want to see another one, will probably be Centralia. Now we've created a brand new one in Pennsylvania.
Crop circles appear overnight, but haunt people's imaginations for years. They can be found everywhere in the world, from the sunny hills of California to the rice fields of Indonesia. But southwest England has the greatest concentration of them. There is a theory that claims that the unusual circles appear in those parts of the field where the foundations of ancient buildings have been preserved underground. However, conspiracy theorists believe that it's the way that the aliens communicate with us and are especially happy about their existence. Nevertheless, the only proven cause is the work of man.
Right, because these hoaxes have been going on for a long time.
Everyone is used to admiring the cherry blossoms in Japan. However, China also boasts stunning tree blossoms in the spring. They are cherry, apricot, and azalea trees. The Maldives aren't only known for their beautiful beaches.
If you guys do want to see some cherry blossoms, if you're at least on the East Coast, you can go to Macon, Georgia. They're everywhere there. Everywhere. I don't know, like, did you just specifically import them? There are, like, multiple neighborhoods where every single tree basically is a cherry blossom. All right? Just a heads up. So if you don't want to go to mainland China, go to Macon, Georgia.
But for the great diversity of the underwater world above all else. Swimming with sharks is one of the most popular activities there. But
Pass. No, don't swim with sharks.
would you be convinced by the statement that nurse sharks aren't aggressive and rarely attack people?
No.
Would you be able to follow the example of this woman?
No.
This video was filmed with drones over Rhine Island. This part of the Great Barrier Reef, located northwest of the mainland, is home to the world's largest colony of green turtles.
Okay.
They are both found in the open sea and near the coast. Female turtles come to the same beaches where they were once born to lay their eggs.
Okay.
Lalibela is a town in northern Ethiopia. Its main
Ooh, this church here, guys. This is a tricky one. But all right, let's get...
attractions are 11 rock-hewn churches. According to local legends, Emperor Lalibela had visions prior to his accession to the throne, and one of them was about a trip to Jerusalem. So he decided to create his own holy city in the secluded mountains. It took generations of craftsmen to carve the churches, as well as the spacious rooms inside them. This drone made a shocking discovery. It found a secret military base in the wilderness of the United States. A huge amount of new military equipment seems to be waiting for its time. Of course, its location remains classified, while some netizens even claim that it's a Photoshop. What do you think? Let us know in the comments.
Nah, it's not, bro. Whenever he's photographing... Well, firstly, yeah, this is definitely not Photoshop, bro. This is a real thing in some random real place, bro. For real, this isn't Photoshop.
There are plenty of reasons to visit Peru, from festivals to ancient cities, and of course, the Rainbow Mountains, which National Geographic ranked as one of the top 100 places to visit before dying.
Okay, guys, listen. Go to Peru if you don't like breathing air. Okay? Just heads up. Listen, it's beautiful. No disrespect to the country. Food is great. All right? Well-seasoned. All right? Just understand, go to Peru if you don't like breathing air. Specifically if you're from a place that is, really close to sea level. Just a heads up, right?
The colors of the local mountains alternate and are an amazing combination of brown, purple, turquoise, yellow, and red rock layers. The monuments literally shimmer with all the colors of the rainbow. This is one of the most interesting and stunning attractions in Peru. The main reason to come to the city of Shenyang in China is to see the paintings that the locals create in the rice fields. The hard part of creating a picture in the field lies in determining the right time to plant the seeds, since in order to get a colorful and voluminous picture, the plants must be at different heights. The local residents have noticed that such eco-art attracts the attention of tourists. Therefore, a park was created where tourists can admire this unusual form of art. The Sky Corridor is a glass bridge.
The level of strategy required for that to exist is wild. someone has dedicated their entire life in trying to figure that out. And it looks like they actually did figure out how to do something like that. I'm just going to congratulate whoever that person was. And then the person who obviously, the same person obviously taught other people. They're following the history of that. Guys, it's beautiful.
That ends with an observation deck. The bridge is located at an altitude of 500 meters, and its length is 368 meters.
What is this?
It is unusual because of its shape, which is reminiscent of 2 tennis rackets. However, the most amazing thing about it is the huge round waterfall, which has thousands of lights mounted along its outer perimeter. At night, when it gets dark, it glows and shimmers with different colors. The mysterious ghost town of Al Madam is located 50 kilometers away from Sharjah. Its residents abandoned the town, leaving it to be taken over by the desert. According to the legends, people were allegedly forced to leave the town by the evil spirits of the jinn. But the fact is that the reason behind the move was the inhospitable
Okay, so I'm guessing we're somewhere in the Middle East.
Sand
Sharjah.
of the desert. The architects of the village didn't take into account that it was located directly on the path of migrating dunes. The ancient tomb of Kaunos can be rightfully called one of the most beautiful spots in the area. The burial ground appeared among the rocks of the city in the 9th century BC. Excavations are still ongoing, but some objects belonging to various ancient eras have already been found. Apparently, the graves were divided into 2 types, graves for ordinary people and graves for the nobility. The incredibly beautiful nature was shot with a drone. This is a wildflower field in Umbria, Italy. This place seems out of this world. In the summer, the field turns into a canvas woven by nature. All kinds of flowers grow here. The most common are poppies, chamomile, cornflowers, and lentil flowers. The colors become even more saturated if there is enough rainfall.
All right.
Friends, that's all for today. Like the video, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.
All right, guys, so you guys have sent me a couple of these type of videos with really similar titles, right? And I'm going to point out, I think this one may be the best of them all. All right, the other ones are kind of like, I don't know, what does this have to do with like drone photography? I don't know, but this one does, at least, right? We got to kind of travel around the world here, right? There are a lot of brand new places for me, and I like that, right? I'm absolutely a travel nerd, I guess. Kinda, right? But all right, listen, send me more. Absolutely. But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly.